As part of our 20th anniversary celebrations in 2024, Pharos Architectural Controls is spotlighting 20 people and projects that have helped to shape our company and our products and continue to inspire us every day. Ryan Sainsbury from Pharos and I are very excited today to be joined by Åre Bartenius from Stockholm Lighting Company to talk about his experiences with Pharos products on the Åre Ski Resort project in Sweden. Hi both, lovely to have you along.
Hello.
Hi, nice to be here.
Hi. Yeah, thanks so much, Åre, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
I wonder if you could just sort of introduce yourself and introduce Stockholm Lighting and kind of what you do with the company.
Yeah, sure. As you said, my name is Oscar and I work for Stockholm Lighting, based in Sweden. I've been working at Stockholm Lighting for about 8 years now as like a technical salesperson and a technician. So what I do is a lot of time I'm out like commissioning systems and programming control systems, mostly Pharos, but some other systems as well, and then do some technical sales as well.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So I think one of the things that obviously we want to have a focus on today is the Åre Ski project.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about kind of what that project actually is, and kind of like how you were instructed by lighting designers to get on board with it.
Right, yeah. So the Åre Ski Resort is actually predates my time at Stockholm Lighting. So it's been up and running for the entire time I've been with Stockholm Lighting. But about 12 years ago, a lighting design firm here in Sweden did this like vision for this installation to basically light up an entire ski slope in Åre. What should we say? So it's basically they have like blue and white light along an entire ski slope from the top of the mountain down to the valley. Yeah, that includes quite a bit of challenges, both lighting wise and control wise. So that's why we decided to use Pharos system basically to be able to solve all these problems that occurred, or not problems, but challenges.
Yeah. So obviously you've got a ski slope now. I'm not a massive skier living in the UK, but one of the things that I found really interesting is obviously you have the lighting for when the ski slope is being used at night, but there's more to it than that, because obviously it's actually being used outside of when people are skiing on the slope as well, to kind of really highlight the slope within the mountain when it's not in use, right?
Yeah, exactly. So like at the sort of dusk hours when the sun starts to set in the afternoon, they have basically a static lighting scenario with some colors and some gogo projections. And as soon as they close down the slope for skiing, they turn on like their night scenario, which is basically a movement that goes along the entire mountain from the top down towards the bottom. To create kind of this like visual scene all across the valley, and you can see it from really far away.
Yeah, so it's like when it's not in use, it's like a very slow 2D wave or slow chase that's kind of just tracking the perimeter of the ski slope, and it looks really, really amazing. So I imagine that there was quite a lot of technical challenges with doing a project like this. I mean, first of all, that ski slope has got to be, you know, a pretty long distance in terms of kind of like, you know, the fixed run from the top and the bottom. What kind of Pharos hardware and what was the system configuration like that you decided to go with in the end?
Yeah, definitely. So the installation this consists of basically a fiber backbone to be able to reach all of the distances, and then we're using 6 LPCs spread out throughout the slope. So we have the fiber coming to like a fiber converter to each and every LPC unit to be able to have this spread out network of Pharoses along the ski slope. And then basically all the fixtures are DMX controlled, and Yeah, that's simply put, that's the installation. Obviously, there's more to it, but yeah, that's the biggest hurdle was probably the distances involved.
Yeah, because I imagine, I mean, that's got to be like what, a couple of miles long, give or take, of the ski slope. So, you know, you've obviously the max distance you can have on a DMX run is 300 meters. So you have distributed LPCs that are plugged into a fiber backbone, which is allowing you to like do your DMX runs to your fixtures all the way down down the mountain. And then you've got a TPC there as well, I believe, acting as a user interface that a technician or similar could go to.
Yeah, exactly. So they have some of their, like, you know, standard buttons, like to turn the installation on and off and use the different scenarios, and then they have like a separate page that's locked, that's like a service page. If they want to check anything, they can turn on like different service scenarios and turn different fixtures on and off and so forth.
Yeah. Okay, great. So the actual core programming though of the system, I imagine that obviously the lighting needs to pretty much come on at sunset or you know, near, probably maybe a little bit before then. So I imagine there's probably some time-based or astronomical based triggers that are going on in the programming.
Yeah, it is. Most of the like day-to-day functions is run either through real-time triggers or astronomical triggers, and then we also have like some inputs from to the Pharos systems that just basically telling us the health of the cabinet that the Pharos is in, and sending out emails to the client to let them know if everything is working correctly or if something needs to be checked on.
Yeah, because my understanding is that obviously the controllers are installed in a proper IP rated box, but because it's on a ski slope and because it's obviously in Sweden where it can get very, very cold in winter, watching the temperature within those units is something that's kind of like critical. So, you know, obviously having a Pharos system integrate with those sensors and then send you some kind of notification to let you know if things are going quite cold in there would be quite an important thing for an installation like this.
Yeah, exactly. They all of the Pharos units or the LPC units are mounted in as you said, IP rated like electrical cabinets outside, but they are, as you said, it gets really cold in Sweden, so they are heated cabinets.
Yeah.
So we have temperature sensors to make sure that the cabinet stays above freezing all the time.
Yeah.
So we have, if the sensors tell us that it goes under like 5 degrees or something, we get an email letting us know that, all right, we need to check on this cabinet.
Yeah, it's these things that sometimes, you know, you don't have to think about, but when you've got an installation like this, and when you're, you know, dealing with really, really harsh conditions, you're gonna need to kind of put these types of fail safes in you know, into practice in order to make sure that the system's you know, staying healthy, as you said, and reliable. I think that's kind of a really interesting thing that that Pharos is providing there. So the system's been around for 12 years. I think, you know, we briefly talked about kind of you know, obviously how long you've had the system, but I think you've just revisited it very recently. I think there's some kind of upgrades coming to the system, and you've been doing a little bit of work on it recently.
Yeah, exactly. The system's been going for a long time now, and the client feels like it's probably time to do like a haul over of the installation and just make sure everything works and switch out the stuff that's not working. So I went up there earlier this summer to just have a look at the installation, and in the process when I was there, I also updated all the Pharoses to Designer 2. Because they were running old like Designer 1 point something firmware. So I've done a bit of work on the programming side, just making sure that the new version 2 files are working correctly, and the transition was really smooth, to be honest. It's the only thing I've had to change is like minor details. Otherwise, everything just worked perfectly fine. We might be running, like, getting a couple of new Pharos hardwares as well, probably a new like touch panel, But otherwise, all of these, like, to be honest, old Pharos LPC units, they are working perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, that kind of speaks to reliability. And, you know, whilst we're on that, you know, obviously making sure that you can go from designer 1 to designer 2. These are all like free upgrades that we always give with our software. Obviously with the new version of software that we bring out, we always bring out new features. But again, it's always been a Pharos thing that we don't have any licenses for our software. You know, we're a hardware-based company. That's really how we make our money. And also, you know, our software updates will always be free. There'll never be any kind of extras that you have to pay for it. So, you know, that obviously gives people like yourself and other users the ability to revisit existing sites and then, you know, upgrade them and bring them up to newer versions of software for free and new firmware to obviously, to access the new features that we bring out. It's a really, really interesting project. And it looks really, really stunning. I think, you know, I've got an excuse now to go to Sweden and gets my skis out and go check it out because I really want to see it like face to face.
It's absolutely stunning. And I know we've had some pictures rolling as you've been talking, Oscar, you know, with the kind of effect of that wave of light that goes down the mountain, which is absolutely beautiful, and having that kind of dynamic lighting compared to the perhaps more traditional static lighting that might be in situ in a ski resort really does you know, give that wow factor. So it's really great to kind of understand the behind the scenes of how that project kind of came together, and we really appreciate you kind of sharing your knowledge and experience and expertise on the project. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being part of our campaign, and we'll continue to enjoy Åre Ski Resort for many years to come, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure as well. And thank you for having me. It's been great to be able to share some of these projects as well.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.